Hi everybody, we have a mini Labradoodle birth announcement video for you today. These are the mini Australian Labradoodles from the Anuenue litter, and these puppies are 4 days old. And oh, Mama Anise is giving you quite a display of her tummy. Anise, you're funny. So today's video we're going to tell you all about the birth of these little puppies, which has quite a little story to it. We're going to give you an update about what's been going on since they've been born, and we're also going to give you a little bit of an update on Mama Labradoodle Anise. Hi, I'm Claire from Isle Labradoodles, and these little mini Labradoodle puppies are from our Anuenue litter. Anuenue means rainbow in Hawaiian, and that's why this litter has the name. Because if you look down here, you'll see we have quite a variety of colors and patterns. We have apricot, red, black phantom tries, and this beautiful apricot party girl. Now you may wonder, how do you get these colors from a dog who is black? And also the dad for this litter is also black. Well, Anise is showing you very vividly that she is a black phantom try. So what does that mean? Well, she has a black base, then she has white, which you can see up her chest, under her chin, hello beautiful. And then she has these gorgeous silver cream highlights up her paws, all 4 of her paws, underneath her tail, and it's also above her eyebrows that you can't see because she's got so much hair on her face right now. So those are called the phantom markings. And phantom comes in the silvery creamy color. It also comes in a coppery color, and it comes sort of in more of a goldy tan color. So Bowie, who is the sire for this litter, he is exactly the same as Anise in that he is also a black phantom try, but his points, that's what these different colors are called, are closer to a gorgeous coppery red color such as this little girl has here. So together, because both of them, although they are black dogs, they both carry for chocolate and for yellow, and that means they can have dogs in any color of the rainbow. So there's really only 3 colors of dogs in the world: black, brown, and yellow. And then there's all the hues of those. So instead of saying brown, we usually say chocolate. And when we say yellow, that can be anything from a creamy shade right through to a really dark, rich red color. What we call it, whether we call it caramel or red or cream, depends on the color of the nose. So black noses have certain colors assigned to them, and brown noses have other colors assigned to them. These dogs, these parents both have black noses. Now you can see that Anise is telling you and showing you that she's quite relaxed as a first-time mom. She's totally unstressed. She is the most wonderful girl. She's just in her element. She really seems to enjoy her puppies. She's definitely not a helicopter mom. She's very protective of them, though. If she doesn't know who you are, you do not get to come in anywhere near them. We have had the vet here to check out Anise, and I'll explain why later. And when he approached the whelping box here, that was it. She was right out. She growled, and she let him know that if he came closer, she would bite him. And she, a couple of times when I've taken her out for a walk, she's growled at me and said, no, I'm not leaving right now. And she's just communicating. She's being an excellent mom. She knows best of all when she needs to be with her puppies. She knows way more than I do. And if she's telling me, get lost, I'm going to respect that and get lost. It's so important to listen to what your dog is saying. You know, lots of times you say, oh, the dog bit someone. Dogs don't bite without giving you lots and lots of warnings. They'll give you all sorts of body language. They'll give you a verbal cue by growling first. They'll snarl, show you their teeth and say, I am going to bite you. And if you are foolish enough to persist, or if you're a child and don't know better, that's when the bite's going to happen. But if you just respect them and understand what they're saying and go, okay, backing off, problem solved. Anyways, back to Anise. So first thing we're going to do in this video is tell you about the delivery. So, and these puppies are 4 days old, and normally we do our birth announcements right after they're born, but these puppies took a little while to be able to nurse, and also Reynold, who is our cameraman, was away until yesterday. So the announcement is a little bit behind times. So why did they have trouble nursing? Well, this is great that Anise is doing her show and tell here. If you look closely here at her mammary glands, so each one of these is a mammary gland, and each one of them has a nipple. Now normally, under normal circumstances, these nipples would be protruding about a good 1/4 to half an inch. They would be like a baby bottle. There would be quite a large nipple here. You can see on Anise's, her nipples are almost flush with the gland. So if you're a little tiny brand new puppy, you cannot get onto this. You can't find where it is. You're looking and looking and trying to latch on, and so the puppies have not been able to latch on. Today, day 4, is the first day we have 4 out of the 5 of them able to latch on their own. Still, the smallest puppy is not able to do that on her own. Oh, and one other interesting thing about this litter of 5 puppies is all of these Australian Labradoodle puppies are girls. It is an all-girl litter. So because Anise has got these tricky nipples, we have had to get up and be with them every 2 hours to get the puppies attached, latched on, feeding. Then we have to weigh them, make sure that they are gaining weight, and really monitor them. So when the puppies were born and I realized that we had this problem, I asked my vet to come and do a house call and just to do a quick check, because I wasn't sure what we should do. Should we try and dry her up and tube feed the babies and forget nursing entirely? Or should we be trying to stimulate milk production so that the glands became fuller, and my hope was push the nipples out further. So when Rob, our vet, came, he checked out Anise. She was in perfect condition and health, and yeah, he said the nipples aren't great, but he did make me feel better by saying that he had seen worse and that the puppies ended up being successful once they were a bit older. And then he checked all the puppies as well. Everybody was fine. But when he came to check the puppies was when Anise was, you may not get near my puppies. So all we did was take Anise out of the room so that Rob could actually look at each individual puppy. And with that, he was just doing a quick check. He was here, so he just checked them over. So everybody was perfectly fine. I felt better knowing that we had a chance of success with the breastfeeding, and off we went. So when the puppies aren't able to latch at will, they don't eat as often and they don't eat as much. And you can see Anise has kind of a funny bit of mammary gland too. So these back glands are usually really quite full. These are usually the most popular nipples. And then these next ones are usually quite full. These ones here are starting to get smaller, and then the ones at the very top are oftentimes not even used. Now if you see this one at the top here, you can see really how hard it is for a puppy to find that nipple. It's hard for me to find it. And then you can see that they're not really got a lot of milk in them, and there's quite a lot of lumpy bumpies going on here. Not the normal kind of shape that you expect to see in mammary glands. So how do we get the babies to eat? They've all just eaten, so I might not get very much good participation here, but this is the last born puppy, Blue Collar, and she is the best at latching on. She was the first one to learn. But basically what we do is we take I'm going to use this one down here, we take the mammary gland, we squeeze it to make the nipple come out, we get a blade of milk on there, and then we put the puppy up and we wait for the puppy to show interest like Blue's doing here. She's not going to be interested because she did just have a huge feed. And then we wait. They're getting a little bit of suction, and this time we weren't successful. We try again. Nope, we're not going to do it because she's not hungry. But what we do then is we put the puppy on the nipple more fully and really almost whooshed, push the nipple right into the puppy's mouth. Then they get their suction on there and they can get going. And then for the puppies who are not as strong as Blue, who the last born is also the biggest puppy, then after she's been on there for a little bit, we move her to another one. There you see she's going to try and get on by herself now. She's got milk on her nose. A couple of them I've made them sneeze by spraying the milk right up their nostrils, which I'm sure is not really that much fun. After one of the puppies has nursed, it does tend to pull the nipple out a little bit more, making it easier for the next one to get on. It also leaves a scent behind, and that scent directs the puppy even better to where the supply of milk is at the milk bar. So that's basically what we do. We make sure before we use any of them that there's milk coming out of all of them, and off we go. So one of the things that is always a concern when you have any issues with feeding puppies is mastitis. And mastitis is when you get hard lumps around the mammary gland. Now Anise has a couple right here on this gland, which she has had right from the beginning. So what do we do about that? Well, what you do is you use cabbage leaves. Cabbage leaves are a natural way of eliminating a large amount of milk. It dries the milk supply up. Now, of course, when we do that, we want to be really careful that when we drying up that bit, there, now we're going to get Black Collar's going to show you how she can get on there, we hope. Maybe she is, maybe she's not. We don't want to dry up the milk supply so much that there's not enough milk for the puppies. Obviously, we want to keep the milk bar open, but at the same time, we don't want to have it so that it's so much that mom is getting engorged and it's causing problems. So it's a little bit of a balancing act. There we go. Now we've got black on that top one that I was telling you about that has the lumps in it. So we try and encourage the puppies to go up and draw off the milk in the one that has the tendency to have the lumps and bumps. Actually, she's not on that one, she's one behind. And we also put the cabbage leaves on. We put the cabbage leaves on right where the bumps are. You massage on it, get things moving, get some flow going. And then I have a homeopathic a spray that I use that's phytolacca, vodka, and water. You can just spray it on the hard spots and you'll get massage. And you can also spray that right into Mama's mouth, and it's totally safe for everyone. Oh, no goodness, somebody's getting squished there. There we go. Little Silver's head was getting squished when Anise ran over, or rolled over rather. So this has been a bit of a challenging time. I've been here alone with the puppies while Reynold was away. So Taylor came and stayed, which was great. She's in her 20s, I'm in my 60s, so she was great. She did the night shift, four-hour span at night for me so I could get a little bit of sleep. Really helpful, and makes a whole lot of difference in your life when you have somebody helping you out like that. So you can see Black Collar Girl is on here now, and you see I've got my fingers underneath her, and that's just to support her so that she doesn't come off of them. And Anise has the instinct whenever her babies are nursing that she should come and clean them up and stimulate them to go to the bathroom. But she's been fabulous. She's learned so quickly when I've asked her not to do that by just doing this and putting her hip back down, that she knows that I'm telling her no, not while they're on there, because I don't want her pushing them off when we finally get them on. So the puppies are all doing much better now. Silver Collar still is unable to nurse on her own at all. The other ones are all able to get on without any help. They still fall off a bit more frequently than I would like, so we're still coming in regularly throughout the day. But I think probably now we can cut that back to about once every 4 hours as opposed to once every 2 hours, which is great. They're all doing really well, and it's because they've gotten stronger. We tube fed them once when they were very first born. They were losing weight. newborns, if they lose too much weight, it can be critical. Sorry, was I not petting you? Okay, there you go. So you want to make sure that their weight loss is stopped. So tube feeding is just what it sounds like. Very thin tube that you take the tube and you measure from the puppy's nose down to their stomach. You put a mark on the tube and then you slide the tube down their throat. If you feel something hard, then you know you're in the wrong place. And you slide it right down to their tummy. It's attached to a syringe that you have their formula in, and you just push the formula in, and of course it has to be at body temperature. So we only had to do that once, and that was a big turning point. Once the puppies had had that good amount of being tube fed, it gave them just enough energy to be able to be like, okay, now I probably can go and latch on a little more easily. So that was the first turning point. And then today has become what I call the second marker, in that we're all getting on our own except for Silver Collar, and everybody is doing well with their weight. So we have been weighing them 8 times a day, really keeping close eye on how much they are gaining or if they're losing. But I think today we are only going to do it 3 times, so we'll do it at 8, 4, and midnight, and make sure that everything's on the right track. And then when we go to bed, we'll know if we have to wake up every 2 hours or if we can wake up every 4 hours. 4 hours would be a really nice luxury. I'm hoping for that. So in the delivery process, we had an exciting delivery too. So when moms have their puppies, they often go through what's called a pause. And that's where you get some puppies and then there's a little break that happens. Well, with Anise, she had 2 puppies quite quickly, and then she had over 3-hour pause before the next 3 were born. So I was a little bit concerned that things were not going quite as they should be, but she was pretty much relaxed through the whole thing. And when it was time, then the other puppies were born. So whelping out a girl requires a lot of patience, because oftentimes breeders think, oh, something's going wrong, we better go to emergency, and you probably don't really need to. In this case, I had phoned ahead to emergency to make sure that if we needed to come, we had a spot booked, that there was a vet that was a repro specialist on staff that night. And it was when I was actually packing up the car and getting everything ready, I came back in to get Anise and the puppies, because our emergency is more than an hour away from us, and we're at that time point where it was like, I think we should maybe head out. And when I went to go get Anise to put her in the car with the 2 puppies she had delivered, puppy number 3 was there, so we didn't have to make any trips. So you can see Anise is not a helicopter mom. She's really good. She gets up, she walks around. She's even starting to lie outside of the box now. She's very happy with her puppies, protective, caring, but not overwhelming them, and just the calmest puppy in the world. And when her mom came to visit her yesterday, her mom's a lactation consultant. That was a huge help. She had all sorts of tips and tricks that really helped out. And oh, Anise was so happy to see her. And just having that little bit of joy in her life really helped Anise settle down as well, although she was pretty calm right from the beginning. So we're going to tell you about each of the puppies and their birth weights now, and we're going to do them in order because nobody is nursing. And I'm going to quickly grab Pink Collar, who's thinking about it, because Pink Collar girl is our firstborn in this litter. Now this little beauty queen is a black phantom, and her markings, oh, is it too far away? Sorry. Her markings are more of the coppery color, like her Papa Bowie. So if you look at Bowie's photos on the website, and that's isledoodles.com, you will see exactly what I'm talking about in terms of what color this is going to become. So this little lady was the firstborn at 3:17 a.m. and at birth she weighed 212 grams. And you can see Anise is giving her a lovely little bit of a clean up there, making sure everything is ship-shape. Yeah, can I put her back now? Yeah, okay. Let's see if she can figure out how to nurse on her own. Next was Black Collar Girl. Now, Black Collar Girl is an example of why we have this litter called Anuenue. This is a beautiful little girl, probably an apricot, but she might be a caramel. I suspect she's going to be an apricot though. Hello. Beautiful golden color, just really nice with that really pretty little white blaze right up the face, the nose, and then she's got the 4 white paws. Yeah, told you paws, that's a girl. And the little white tip at the end of her tail. I always love those little white tips. And this little lady was born at 3:35 a.m. So number 1 came and number 2 was poof right after. And I'm like, yay, we're gonna have a nice quick delivery. And she weighed 185 grams when she was born. Then it all went sideways and we waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. And the next puppy born is this little love silver collar girl. A little silver collar girl is also a black phantom, and she too is going to have those copper colors like her Papa Booey. But this little lady is a tri. And what does that mean? Well, she has the white up her face, hello, on the side of her nose, and she has white under her neck and on her chest there. And she has a little teensy weensy white tip on the back of her tail. So this little monkey didn't get born until 6:19 a.m. So I was thinking, wow, it must be some giant puppy that's taking so long to come out. Smallest one of all, 161 grams. You can see how tiny this little muffin is. And this is why it's so still a little bit tricky for her to nurse on her own. It's very easy for her to be knocked off by her sisters or just by Anise moving. And sometimes she just runs out of steam and you can see she's just like, and she hasn't got the energy to hang on anymore. We'll see if maybe she, oh no, Anise has got a cleaner, so we'll just leave her there for a minute. And then after that we have Purple Collar Girl. Purple Collar Girl is probably a red dog. She could be an apricot. You can see that she's quite dark, and already you can see that she's got the black coming in on her nose, on her lips there, and she already has one of her pads is black. So for sure she's either apricot or red. Lots of white flash on this beauty queen. Beautiful 4 little white paws, really adorable. And as well that white tip at the end of her tail. And Miss Purple Collar, she was born at 6:22 a.m. So again, we had 2 right in a row. And it's kind of funny. Number 1 is black phantom. Number 2 is a apricot, born really quickly, huge paws. Then number 3 is another black tri. And number 4 is another apricot or red, very quickly. And this little queen, beauty queen, weighed 186 grams when she was born. And then for last hurrah, we had blue collar. I ran out of girl collar colors, so she has blue. And here she is over here. And this would have been the puppy I would have expected. That was the holdup, because this is the biggest puppy. She is 226 grams, so considerably larger than everybody else. And she is an apricot party. Hi. She could also be phantom, just hidden, because she's a party, so you can't see it. So if she is a phantom, then she is a tri as well, just a different presentation of it. So this little lady, she arrived at 8:42 a.m. So again, we had a significant break between puppy number 4 and this little girl being born. But thankfully it wasn't another 3 hours. And then that was it. We were all done, and Anise made it very clear that she was finished. Now you see what she's doing right now. She's making sure that the puppies have full access to her milk bar. So she's trying to make it as easy as possible for them to nurse. So what we're going to do is just put everybody over here. We're going to get little Silver. I call her Hi-Ho. I put Miss Blue back there. Blue knows what to do on her own now. And we'll get little Hi-Ho here. We'll squeeze up a nipple for her. And we'll get a little blade of milk out. And then we'll see if she'll latch on. And she may or she may not. But that is all of the puppies. Anise is doing very nicely. She's got good appetite. She prefers it if she's hand-fed at this point in time, which is fine. We can do that just because she doesn't like to get out of the nest to eat. So we just feed her as she's ready to. Nope, Silver says I'm not hungry right now, so no worries there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It was quite an eventful delivery, and it's been a little bit of a challenge with the flat nipples, but we're on our way now. Everybody's turned the corner, and fingers crossed that maybe tonight we can sleep for 4 hours, because that will be exciting for us, far more than the puppies, but definitely exciting for us. So thanks so much for watching.